Um, okay, so there's a bit of a long title to this, but I wanted to kind of share, like, I wanted to give like 7 tips, 7 secrets, I'm calling them. They may not be secrets, they may be things you already know, but I think that you'll find that they are hopefully 7 things which are new ideas. Some of them are new ideas for you, because I wanted to give you something new, something novel to take away, because this is a very, very different approach. And I wanted you to get some insights into that. So I'm going to be sharing 7 tips. Yeah, so but the ultimate goal is not just about weight release, right? It's about mastering your food relationship so you can be free for life, free to overcome the symptoms that are being caused by the food we're eating, and by a lack of nutrition and the cravings and the subsequent weight gain. So we'll come to all that, but I wanted to just give it a little bit of a intriguing name. So this is me, and this was me 2 weeks ago in Kefalonia on a orange Vespa this time, a little bit different from the red one I normally show, which was in Paris. So I'm committed. Every place I go, I'm going to get on a different color Vespa. But I do ride a motorbike. Not in this country. I feel it's too dangerous. But when I'm on, somewhere like on holiday and the roads are safe, and I love to just nip around a Greek island, or, on a scooter, and just enjoy life. I love freedom has always been a top value for me. Having a lot of fun. We only get one life, okay? Whatever you feel about afterlife, we're not going to go there, but we got one life, right? Let's just enjoy it to the max. And enjoying it to the max for me means freedom, fun, family, friendships, food, but also the best of health, having the best of health and the best mobility as I start to get older. I'm 54 now. No, I'm not. I'm 54 in August. And I honestly feel more energetic, lighter, and happier in my body now than I did in my 30s. Because I can remember in my 30s, um, I felt heavy and old in my 30s. And I think that was just the way I was eating. Or I was a couple of dress sizes larger, but it's not that. It's the way, it's the energy, it's the vibrance. And the reason I feel so good now is because, yeah, over the years, I did get better and better with understanding how I was meant to be eating, but I never mastered it until 2020, when I discovered the program that I now coach, which changed my life completely, but it's also changed the lives of over 100,000 people worldwide. We believe that it is the most effective health transformation program in the world. And I am now one of 11 master coaches teaching this method worldwide, which is a great honor. I work very closely with the founder. In fact, I'm hoping to meet him for a chat in London next week. And I've guided over 250 people. That slide hasn't changed in quite a while. It's close to 300 people now, because I coach in group cohorts as well as one-to-one for those that want one-to-one. But I like to do a group cohort. And so, yeah, the number of people that I've helped is going up and up and up. Me back then, my food relationship was on the, it was party, it was celebration, it was, I love food and I always did. But it had its downside. It would be wine to relax, and so there was a definite downside to my alcohol relationship. I love to throw a party, but there was a definite downside to the party food. Holidays. The holidays were, to be honest with you, holidays were more about the food than they were about the experiences. Food was the experience, and there's no shame in that. That's okay. But it was out of balance for me, and it was out of balance with parties as well. It would be, as soon as I arrive at a party, I'd be straight looking at what food's here. Oh my goodness, a party. I wonder what are they going to have? Cake? Shall I bring a cake? And it was just out of balance, and it took its toll. Cakes, let me show you. I was known for my cakes. These are a few of the cakes that I've made in the past. Now, I'm not saying, nobody used to make a birthday cake, but I was so obsessed with cake that I used to make everybody a birthday cake. This is the Death Star that I made for Paul. This was a dartboard. Everybody thought it was an actual dartboard. And this is a floppy dog that I made for Ruby. But for me, it wasn't really just about making cakes. it was indulgence. You know, I would eat a great deal of it whilst baking it, and I would have rather too many slices, you know, and it was just all about indulgence. It was my joy. Food was my pleasure. And that's nothing wrong with that. But the problem was, I think food was my only pleasure. And so, you know, as we go through these slides, we will see how that's changed now, okay, with what I coach. And I'm happier than ever. And I do eat cake, but not like I did before. So the impact that would have on me, let me know if nod furiously if any of this resonates for you. The biggest one was the afternoon slump. It was just, oh my goodness. I can remember days in the office where I just wanted to sleep on my desk. And I thought it was my fault because I didn't get to bed early enough. I still don't get to bed early enough, darlings, but I don't have the afternoon slump anymore. It's food. It's not your fault. It's not because you're going to bed too late. You know, sometimes we need more sleep. Of course we do. But I was staying up late. But the biggest problem was that I was hooked on carbs and sugars. And so my erratic blood sugar would lead to this massive afternoon slump. I'd go off hunting for anything I could find that would give me a boost of energy. And it meant that in the evenings, I had no energy to give to my family. And going back to when the kids were little, I love reading to them at bedtime, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't read to them at bedtime because I would just fall asleep. It was the tiredest part of the evening, that sort of 7 p.m. I couldn't cope with it. So I contracted out all all bedtime reading responsibilities to their dad back when they were tiny, and then their stepdad, which is lovely because Ruby has fond memories of her stepdad reading to her, but she has no memories of me reading to her, and that breaks my heart. You know, and so it's how does that slump, that fatigue impact our lives, our work, our family, our joy, you know, looking back. It also manifested itself in stiff achy joints, but I didn't know it at the time. But nobody could explain to me why it was stiff and achy, and I just put it down to being a stiff and achy person. I had no idea, but it was like for 15, maybe 20 years, and nobody told me that food triggers inflammation, and inflammation feels like joint pain and stiffness. Nobody told me. And I haven't got a slide on this, but I'm gonna just come up to the screen and show you. So under my eyes now, not too bad. I don't think I got any bags, not too bad. I have had a little bit of chocolate over the weekend, and it does show itself in a tiny little pouch. But I have a video of me when Ruby was a toddler, and the pouches under my eyes you could measure them with a ruler. You could measure them in millimeters, the pouches under my eyes. And I didn't know what it was. I was wondering if it was, you know, they say about eye cream building up. I thought it was eye cream building up, or I didn't know what it was. Is this what aging is like? That was going back. I can remember which house I'm in. So that was 20 years ago. I remember these pouches first appearing. I don't have pouches anymore. It was the way I was eating. Yeah, it's chronic inflammation manifesting itself in the body in different ways. Is this resonating for anybody? Are you resonating with any of these symptoms? Does anybody want to share what are your symptoms that are maybe, you know, caused by food or non-food? Anybody want to share? Is it fatigue? Is it afternoon slump? Is it joint pain, stiffness? Is it digestive discomfort, IBS, all kinds of, you know, what do they call it? Crohn's, diverticulitis, irritable bowel, the whole host of, those are often inflammatory as well. Yeah, they're food triggers. What else could there be? Anybody worried about more longer term stuff, the pre-diabetes, that kind of thing? Pre-diabetic is becoming, it's much easier now to become diabetic, isn't it? And again, it's not our fault, but it is now our responsibility once we understand. And I can absolutely help you with that. I am actually training to be a diabetes reversal facilitator, but the program that I coach reverses diabetes. Yeah, no two ways about it. So as well as all that, it was the 35 Years. Oh my God. Yeah, because I found this solution in age 49. Take off 35. I was 14. I can absolutely remember dieting at 14. So 35 years of yo-yo dieting, thinking that, oh, I've got to lose weight, got to go on a diet. Yeah, it's just like, you got to lose weight, diet. Just that was the solution, right? Didn't know another way. And it didn't work. And I had no willpower, and I thought it was my fault. I thought, what is the matter with me? I can do anything. I had a great job, ride motorbikes around the world, master paddy dive master, scuba diving, uh, choir leader. I could do anything that I turned my hand to, but I couldn't lose weight. And I thought, what is the matter with me? This can't be right. I knew it couldn't be right. And if it was me, I wanted to know what it was. So this is just the history of the dieting. Constant weighing and measuring and tracking and calorie counting and starvation and deprivation and joining up Slimming World again, joining up again, paying the joining fees again and getting the book again. And it's changed a bit with your A choices and your B choices, but you've still got to weigh in on a Monday and get on the scales of shame. And if you haven't, released at least a pound, what have you been doing then? You've been cheating, guilt, shame, no solutions. Just, I hated it. Eat more powder, diet soups. Somebody's joining. I spotted that one, Venetia. I spotted that one. Brenda's just joining. So all diets taught me was how to cheat. And it just made me more bloody miserable. I finally gave up dieting 10 years ago when I realized it was making me more obsessed with food. Brenda, welcome, darling. If you want to, feel free to turn on your camera, but don't feel like you need to. So one of the main things that I realize now looking back, hi, Brenda, is that dieting ignored all the emotional reasons for eating. It ignored cravings, it ignored compulsion, it ignored, we're going to talk about emotional eating. Everybody eats for emotional reasons, and I'll explain why. And dieting just wanted you to have willpower of steel to overcome all of that. It didn't provide solutions. All it provided was a bloody meal plan, a miserable one as well. Anybody enjoy dieting? Anybody fans of the old Slimming World? Some people loved it. They were like institutionalized. I quite like it. It's sociable. Great. If they love it, then great. I can understand what they love about it with the social aspect, but it wasn't for me. So long story short, 2020 lockdown, I stumbled across a webinar. I was just open to personal development and growth and curious, interesting things. And I've always been interested in healthy eating, and I've always been interested in how humans are meant to thrive, always been an interest of mine. And I came across this, and it was listening to the founder of this program talking was just a bloody revelation. And it was like, oh my God, it makes sense why I failed in the past, why I'm craving, why I rebel against a diet, and how we're meant to eat to thrive. And how if you focus on weight loss, it's destined to fail. But if you focus on the health benefits and how you feel, focus on how you feel, how food makes you feel, that's the secret. And weight loss is just a natural side effect. So this is a completely transformed me you are talking to now. I'm still a curvaceous 14, but bouncy. I'm a bouncy curvaceous 14. I kind of deviate between a 12 and a 14, and I just feel completely comfortable going between those two. It just feels like freedom to me, and happy and well, no ailments, no joint pain, no stiffness, no cravings. I have no desire for junk food whatsoever. I create my own convenience. It feels amazing to have completed the set of things that I can do. I now know that I can achieve anything I put my mind to. There is no, but I can't lose weight anymore. I know how to lose weight. And I know how to gain it. And that's fine too, We'll talk about balance. So got my energy back. All day energy, all evening. I do go to bed late because I got loads of energy. But I've ditched dieting forever. Forever. No more dieting. Oh my God, that feels amazing to say that, having spent 35 years doing it. Let's talk to you, my darling. So jump on, please jump on. Let me ask you, what do you think holds you back? With this, we're focusing today on food relationship, but let me know whatever you think it is. Is it like me? You were too overindulgent with special occasions, food and drink and cakes and drinking and conferences and parties. And are you celebrating, and it's having a knock-on effect? Do you feel like you've got addictions, compulsions? A lot of people will say to me, "Oh, I'm a sugar addict," like it's a character defect. Let me let you into a secret. It is not a character defect. It is designed by the food industry. It is designed for us to be addicted. Nobody's addicted to natural whole foods. The only foods we're addicted to are the foods that are man-made in a factory. Refined sugars, ultra-processed foods, things like chocolate, they're the most typical ones, can be crisps, but they always have something in common, and that is they're made in a factory. Okay. It's almost unheard of to have food addiction to natural whole foods. So it's not a character defect. It is by design. They are playing us like puppets. I don't have a slide here on the food industry. That's on a previous one. What is it for you, darlings? Anybody want to share? What do you think holds you back? Venetia.
I know for me, and this is only because I've done the program with you and through Eric, and it, it's for me, a lot of it was mindset and mental health. And I know now from the experience of doing the course with you and everything, and then keeping at it, well, sort of, that my mental health and my mindset was massively affected by what I was eating.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Massively affected. And I know now that if I eat something and then the next day I feel absolute shit and I'm anxious or whatever, I think, what have I eaten?
Oh, I completely resonate with that. Yeah.
There's a bloke on Facebook, a black bloke. He's a bodybuilder and he only eats like eggs and beef. But he goes around the supermarkets and he went in somewhere the other day and he went, they produced vegan Nutella. He said basically it's just vegan sugar. It's just shit. Yeah.
Exactly. And
I do
that,
still eat the crap and I have put on weight and I'm going back on it now.
but
But
you
now I've got the
know,
tools to be able to do it.
exactly. Now that you know the link, you're empowered to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had a nectarine at lunchtime and bam, within 5 minutes I was sound asleep because of the sugar in it.
Yeah, so many people I've come across who are so sensitive to sugar that even fruit does that. You're quite unique there, but it does go to show that once you're in tune with what foods do to our bodies,
Yeah.
then you can get in control of it. But I
Like if I eat too, I'm just trying to think of the English word, sorry. Too many chickpeas and stuff at lunchtime, that sends me asleep as well. So
really interesting how for you you get that effect from whole foods, but it could be, darling, that the more you stick to this, because it hasn't been long, the
no.
more the body will adapt and will thrive on those whole foods. It's
Yeah,
not difficult.
I'm
Yeah,
going back to spring though.
and that will help improve your metabolic health, which will allow you to tolerate the sugars in those foods much
Yeah.
better. So
Hmm.
it's there for you. But the point you were making about mental wellness, absolutely. That's why Shaza saw me at the mental health and well-being, and the talk
Mm.
that I was giving was all about the link between the way we're eating or being fed, I like to say, and our mental health. And this slide shows a little bit as to why that is. So, number one, we know that mental wellness requires us to be nutritionally complete. We know that there are essential nutrients, not just for other bits of the body to function. But for the brain to function correctly, we know that we need a full range of all the micronutrients. So nutritional completeness is a huge point for all health, including mental health. The next one is stable blood sugar. Like Venetia's just talked about, when she has certain sugars, it makes her fall asleep. Well, it gave me the afternoon slump. It is normally the ultra processed, but managing our blood sugars is key to mental health as well as overall health and chronic inflammation, because blood sugar, erratic blood sugars, is one of the things that will trigger inflammation in the body and inflammation in the brain as well. Not to mention the erratic moods between high blood sugar, great for a while, and then low blood sugar, which is like, oh, and it's that swing between high blood sugar and low blood sugar that drains us, makes us irritable, makes us less able to cope with the ordinary stresses, the everyday stresses and strains in life. So we know it's a lot to do with blood sugar control. And what we're starting to realize now in the last sort of 10 years or so is just how much is to do with your gut microbiome. Yeah, so gut microbiome, you've heard about the gut brain connection. Yeah, happy gut, happy brain. So and we know that from, well, lots of books on it now, but I would highly recommend Ultra Processed People by Chris Van Tullochen. It talks all about how ultra processed foods are playing havoc with our gut, which is playing havoc with our health and also particularly our mental health. So I just wanted to show you that slide. So yes, let's just pop back to the 7 secrets that I'm going to cover in the next sort of 25 minutes. Right. So what is it? What does it take to master your food relationship so that you have better gut health, so that you can stabilize your blood sugar, so that you can know which foods work well for you, so that you can manage your weight? Number one, it's about getting clear on what you want. Yeah. So there comes a point where it's like, I can't take any more. I am utterly fed up of putting up with X. So what is it? Let's have a look in the chat. As anybody, do feel free to contribute in the chat. Fiona, for you it was no time, so easy to eat chocolate and biscuits, just grab and go food, isn't it? Yeah. What is it for you, darlings? What is it you are no longer prepared to put up with? Right? Is it not fitting into your clothes? Is it the low energy? Is it, yeah, putting yourself last, Ellen? Finally, fed up of putting yourself last. And this is why my clients tend to be 45 plus, because that kind of 45 stage and over, it's like, what the hell? What about me? Me now? You know, we have that revelation, and was the hormones change, the take care of everybody else hormone starts depleting. And this is what menopause is. It's turning us into the wise woman. We now prioritize our own wellness so that we can serve on a bigger scale. That's what becoming a postmenopausal woman is all about. That's why the hormones change. Fiona, fear of ill health. Yeah, that's a big one for me. Particularly the very nasty one that nobody wants to talk about. That is my biggest why, is I want to avoid chronic ill health. I don't want pain. I don't want to be dependent on anyone. I don't want to be in hospital. I want to be free to travel, free to enjoy the rest of my life without pain and without being held back with ailments. So that's number one. Get clear on what you want and get clear on what you don't want. Make sure there's some positives in there. Shaza, it's about how I want to feel good and fit and healthy. Absolutely. And I want to feel good and fit and healthy in my 70s and my 80s and my 90s. And dare I say, as healthy as I possibly can in my hundreds. Yeah. Let's do the best we can to be healthy and have a health span, not just a lifespan. Right. Number 2 is getting deeper on the big why. So it's not enough just to have, here's what I want and here's what I don't want. Doesn't work. How long have you wanted that? Have you done anything about it? Step 2 is going deeper, the big why. Now, this is a big exercise. And if anybody wants to do that with me, send me an email and I'll send you a template on the big why, because it is about going deeper into why you want that. In fact, let's do that. Let's just do a little bit of that now. Who wants to play a little bit of the 5 whys with me? We'll do a little bit now because I think it'll help you really value what it is you want, so that the rest of this conversation is more meaningful. Let's do it. Who wants to share? Would Fiona, Ellen, or Shazza like to come on and say something about what they want, why they want the best of health? Don't be shy. Shall I choose? Shall I pick? Shazza, would you like to?
Okay.
Come on, let's do it, love. So, you want to feel good, fit, and healthy.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Why do you want that?
Because I want to be around for my grandkids, for my children. I want to live, as I say, to 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s if possible. I want to be around for a long time.
So, if you could be around for a long time
Yeah.
for your children and your grandchildren, what would that do for you?
Well, you only get one life, so you want to live that life to your healthiest, best possible chance. You don't want to get to your 70s and you think, oh, well, I can't do this with the whatever children are going to be around or whatever. So you want to be there for the family and you want to go on holidays, you want to do activities. You don't want to be like stuck in mobility wise, you want to be able to be active. And I mean, I like going outdoors, I like being on a bike, I like doing all these outdoor things. So I want to still do that when I'm older.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there. It's at level 3. So being healthy enough to do these activities in older life.
Yeah.
Let's pick on
Mm-hmm.
that one. Why is it you want that?
It makes you feel good. It's about a feeling for me. It's like not about the weight, it's not about the number on the scale. It's how you feel. When you put on nice clothes, you feel good, you want to feel comfortable, you want to be mobile. It's a feeling
Mm.
more
Mm.
than, yeah.
And let's go one level deeper. So if you could feel good and go back through all the levels and be around for your kids longer and enjoy good health in your 80s, 90s, 100s even, what would that do for you?
Happy, wouldn't you? You'd be happier. It's we're all here for one once in a lifetime, as I say. So you want to be as well. I certainly do want to be around and be active as long as possible. I don't want to be stuck in a home. I mean, obviously you want to keep your health. If health issues may stop that, but if food is the key to that, why would you not want that?
Mm.
And as I say, all the processed food that you go into the supermarket these days, and it's just you're surrounded by stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember being in one a couple of weeks ago, and I actually walked out because I was just looking for something healthy to eat without it being processed, and I got so frustrated. And it's like I walked out.
So just to come back to your big why then, ultimately, so you want this longevity, you want to be around for your kids longer, you want to be happier.
Yeah.
You want to be happier. So why is it important then? Why is this important to you?
I think it's important for our generation to protect our own kids because they are surrounded by so much fast foods and quickness and grabbing stuff on the go. And I think they're going to be in a really sticky situation when they are in their 30s, 40s. I've just turned 50 last year. So it's like I've got an 18-year-old daughter, and it's like they don't sit and have dinner with us. They just they get up in the morning, they won't eat. They'll just go and get a Mackie D's or on the go, pick something up. So it's to educate them more. I want to be educated, but I want to teach them too.
Anybody else resonating with this? Yeah, because maybe we've got kids, maybe we've got grandkids, maybe we've got nieces and nephews that are important to us, that their health is important to us. For me, yes, it's my kids, but my kids are doing quite well. I'm not worrying about them now because I've been living this way for so long that it's really spilled over onto them. But now when I look at their friends, that's what is important to me now. Their friends. And actually all the teenagers in the world, I want to eat healthier. They don't know it though. They don't know they need to eat healthier.
No,
So one of my missions is to probably through the mums and the grandmums, to create a ripple effect of this is how good it can feel when we're eating for our best health. This is what impact you can have in the world, and to pass that down as a legacy in some way to our young people, our young adults and teenagers. And that's what's motivating me now, is that's how I want to change the world, is through the mums and the grandmums. So people in this room, we have work to do. We lead by example. Shazza, thank you so much for playing the game with me there. That's the big why, everybody. If you want the big why template, let me know and I'll share it with you. It's important to go deeper. Otherwise, your wants and don't wants aren't meaningful to you. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? Excellent. Right, I'll just whiz through my slides now. I've got a few good ones for you. We'll just keep going through the list. That's big why. That's number 2, secret number 2, if you like. Learn which foods nourish and deplete. Now, I don't mean I'm going to give you a book and you can read it. It doesn't work like that. I want you to know in your body. I want your body to learn which foods nourish and deplete, right? And that can only be done through an experiential guided process. Okay. When you learn, when you make one change at a time, and that change that you've made is like, oh my God, I made this one change a week ago and I'm feeling so much better. You know that you've improved your health. Venetia's nodding because she's done the program. You know you've improved your health because you know you feel better and you know that you're feeling healthier. So you don't need a book. You don't need to believe anybody. You don't need to worry about all the different how should we be eating in the news, in the mainstream, what the doctor says, what the diets say, what the next fad. You don't need what even I say. You don't even need to believe it anymore. All you need to know is how your body feels when you're doing this right. So that's the perfect kind of learning. It's the best kind of learning. It's the experience. Number 4, we've got to tackle cravings at the root, not with willpower. Willpower doesn't work. It works for 5 seconds. We've got to tackle cravings at the root. Cravings are physiological, like sugar cravings. They are emotional. We're going to come to that on a future slide. They are because of low blood sugar. They are all because of not drinking enough water. Everybody, 2 fingers. Play the drinking game with me. So we tackle cravings at the root. And the way we do that is we nourish all 6 human hungers, right? Next slide, but 1. That's number 4. We make nourishing foods desirable, highly desirable. How do we make them highly desirable? 1, with a bit of skill around flavor and prepping foods so that they are delicious and nutritious without spending loads of time. Simplifying, right? But also making them convenient. I'm the queen of grab and go. So whereas you used to grab and go a meal deal or some biscuits, you're going to grab and go something you made on the weekend, or something you put in the fridge or the freezer, or a Tupperware, or something you brought with you. It's this is the key, is learning how to have easy, healthy, convenient, simple foods there that are delicious. Yeah, that's part of it. Right, and then it's choosing the foods that lift you, not drain you. So it's having a more of a desire for the good foods, the supportive foods, and just not wanting the crap, And if you want delicious non-supportive foods, I'll show you a slide on that in a minute as well. I call that conscious gastronomy. That's very different from grabbing and going because you feel like you need to just depend on whatever's there. And we need to address emotional eating. I've got a slide on that as well, so I need to speed up. Right, how would it feel if you could be at peace with food, the way we are talking about, to overcome the confusion and be in the best of health? Let's see how that's done. 6 human hungers. this is I'm going to whiz through this because it takes us a few weeks to teach this. First is there's a free tip. You nail drinking enough water and you'll have dealt with one of the hungers that is compounding to create the cravings. Next one, we've talked about low blood sugar hunger. Well, that's about eating the foods that stabilize your blood sugars and learning. It's different for everybody. Learning which foods work in your body, like Venetia mentioned, is different for her. Okay, so it's got to be an experiential journey to do that. Getting all the nutritional needs met. Number 3, nutritional hunger. We're going to skip the next one and go straight to emotional hunger, which we're going to do a little bit of work on. Variety is another one. Empty stomach is just when you've nourished all the hungers and your stomach is empty, but you're not hungry. It's being comfortable with that and knowing that that's not actually hunger. That's just a normal empty stomach. And it's a good idea to have an empty stomach every now and again. So we go deep into the 6 human hungers. So what happens when you satisfy all the hungers in the right way? Well, your energy increases, your focus, your clarity increases because of reasons said before, healthy gut microbiome, etc. Motivation. And interestingly, because of the gut microbiome, your desire to eat healthy food increases. The gut will go, I love this food, and it'll change your taste buds so that your taste buds really crave healthy food. And your taste buds will taste the shit food, like, you know, I'm not going to mention any, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but the junk, and you'll go, what the hell is this shit? You just will, because the gut is programmed to go, no, that doesn't support me. At the moment, our taste buds are programmed by the food industry. Okay, so there's the difference. What decreases? Afternoon slump, the cravings, the inflammation, the joint pain, the stiffness, the gut disorders, the headaches, the fatigue, and body fat as a natural, a natural side effect. And of course, your risk of chronic disease as well. Right, emotional eating. What is your go-to emotional food? Who would like to share? What have we got here? We've got pasties and savory delights, chips with salt on, Skittles, M&Ms, sweeties, box of chocolates, pizza, latte. What about a sticky toffee latte? Biscuits, cookies, cheese, chocolate cake, takeaway. Who wants to share? What's your go-to emotional food? All of the above. Rice pudding, love it. There's always something. So have a think about what your go-to emotional food is, right? It could be for comfort, Doritos. It could be for celebration. Celebration's an emotion, right? Mine was Thai sweet chili crisps. Thai sweet chili. That was it's Friday night. I'm celebrating Friday night with these crisps and chocolate and wine and rice pudding. So yeah, have a bit of fun with it. No guilt. Please, no guilt. We're going to coach the guilt out of you. Guilt does not help. Having a bit of fun with it helps. All right, so next slide. Let me share again. The next slide is, what emotional state are you trying to change? Right, so me on a Friday night, I wanted to relax, I wanted to celebrate, I wanted to reward myself. Yeah, reward myself for a tough week. It's Friday. But what about the more, the sadder emotions? What about that need for comfort? What about when we're feeling lonely? Some of us live with loneliness and we turn to food to solve that. Some of us lead lives that are very difficult, very challenging. Some of us have stresses that we don't know how to solve. And we turn to food to solve the stress, or to solve the sorrow, or to solve the grief. Yeah, is this resonating with anyone? Yeah, so it can be the positive kind of celebratory type, but it can be also quite, there can be a lot of sadness around as well. Let me just ask you this. Does the food solve the problem? No, everybody agrees that the food doesn't solve the problem. Does the food make you feel better? This is a harder question. Venetia's going like that. Yeah. So sometimes people say no straight away, doesn't make me feel better. Sometimes people go, well, it does for a moment. Yeah, so very often that food will give us a bit of a hit, especially if it's sugar. It'll give us a bit of a hit for a moment, but then it makes ultimately doesn't make us feel better, because ultimately all the worst feelings come back up then, and then there's guilt, and then you realize that you've overindulged and you still haven't solved your problem, and you're just where you were before. So it's recognizing that we are stuck in a loop of trying to address our emotional needs through food. Okay. And then there's, how does that food actually feel in your body? Sometimes if it's takeaway or pizza or fish and chips or alcohol, it can physically make you feel crap as well. Yeah, so there's the physical effect as well as the emotional effect. But knowing that, one, it's not our fault. It's food marketing that keeps us hooked, and it's habit and associations from childhood that keep us in this loop of not solving our emotional problems, not addressing them, but trying to mask them, trying to avoid them, trying to suppress the emotion. So we need a strategy to deal with, not say, stop eating chocolate. Can you imagine how that would work? It doesn't work. We've got to understand what the emotional need is. We've got to really get to the bottom of it. And that's where you need personalized coaching and support to help you really understand what that need is, and finding non-food ways of easing that emotion or addressing that need, non-food ways, but without saying you can't have. Okay, because you can't have makes things worse. So that's another one of the points that we need to address. Where were my 7 points? I want to make sure I go through all 7. That's it. Address emotional eating. So that's the 7. So willpower doesn't work, as you can understand why. So I don't need that slide. What do we need then? If it's not willpower, what we need is, we need to develop a new wisdom. And in that wisdom is a lot of things. It's the emotional eating piece. It's the what nourishes me piece, what makes my body feel good. And it's definitely not trying to measure success on scale wins. Oh, great, I've lost 2 pounds, because you could have just eaten crap and starved yourself for a week, and you've got 2 pounds off and you think that's a win. That's not a long-lasting win. So forget weight. What works is all these psychological tricks, understanding, developing this wisdom, knowing how to be properly nourished, self-care, self-compassion. And so that when you start to eat in a way that really rewards your body and your gut, it will start to make you feel better, so that now you're rewiring the neural pathways, you're embedding new habits, you're embedding new skills, so that it becomes lasting and sustainable. And just in the last 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about how I pulled all that together in the program that I coach, the 90-day program that completely changed my life, and that of over 250 people that I've coached, and probably 100,000 people worldwide. So how we do it, we implement one step at a time in the right order. So it's a program that has been designed to work, and it's been tweaked and tuned and changed over the last 10, 15 years so that it just bloody works. And the right order means making it really easy, making changes in the first 2 weeks that everybody can do without struggling, so that you feel you're winning. It's that positive success breeds success. Nobody can fail, because if we set you up for failure like diets do, you just drop out. We need to implement one step at a time in the right order, so that when you do that and you feel, oh yeah, I'm winning at this, you're ready for the next change. And with each change, you're getting, you're feeling better and better, so that when you feel better, you go, oh, okay, I trust this program now. Bring on the next change. Okay, so it's incremental over the course of about 13 weeks. Okay, so imagine if one change made you feel better, imagine what 5 or 6 changes would do. Okay, and then we embed the changes, and then we teach some lifestyle stuff as well. I'll talk a bit more about that for anybody that wants to. Over 100,000 success stories, personalized, targeted coaching. That's what makes it meaningful to you, effective for you, and addresses your needs. You know, your need for convenience, your need for the way the family like to eat, because we certainly don't want mum eating one way and the rest of the family eating their way. We try to avoid that. Occasionally there are differences, but generally speaking, we need to work with the family and upgrade everybody's eating. And it happens as a knock-on effect. When mum does this program, the family don't realize it, but they're all improving too. Neuroscience, lasting change can only be created by positive behavior change. So there's so much positive psychology in this program. It's been designed by somebody who understood, number one, how humans evolved to thrive, but also he's a master of behavior change psychology. And so that's why we know him and love him. His name is Eric. It's tackling the root causes of emotional eating. So the personalized target coaching, and particularly the tackling the emotional eating, that's me. That's not the program, that's my coaching to help guide you through those important phases so that it doesn't come back, so that the disordered eating, the overindulgent eating the wrong foods, the being out of control, so that it doesn't come back. We're addressing it once and for all. We're embedding a lasting, new, healthy, fresh, vibrant relationship with food that makes you feel great so that you'll never want to go back. But let's talk about food freedom. We don't want everybody to live life as a purist, right? I can tell you how to eat, but you're not going to live your life that way. I want you to know that everything you want to eat, once you've experienced eating for pure health, how good that feels for a time, then we talk about freedom. So I spend about 3 weeks talking about your ongoing lifestyle, and we design together an ongoing lifestyle where you can have the chocolates and a glass of wine or an occasional chocolate, whatever it is, ice cream, anything, literally anything, you can bring back in consciously under this badge that I like to call conscious gastronomy. You know, it's so that you can party, so that you can enjoy something indulgent on holiday without guilt, and with also without bringing your symptoms back and without bringing the weight back. So this needs to be well managed. We call it food freedom, okay? But it's food freedom where you are completely in control of how much freedom feels good for you. Does that make sense? It's striving to get that balance, which is where the work is. Angela, who knows Angela? Angela Reed, I don't know if you know her, Helen. She's in the One of Many community. She is one of my stars. She came to me, had already released weight on a diet, but knew that she hadn't embedded a new lasting relationship with food. So she released her final stone and a half on the program with me, and is now maintaining 5 stones weight loss. But she's out of pain. She was actually had joint pain. She was trying to avoid surgery, and food no longer rules her life. She's just an absolute, look at her in that beautiful dress. This is an example cohort that I work with. You know, group sizes vary from around 12 to 20 people, and they all become a lovely community. They support each other. They're all going through the same journey, but they're all having their own unique experience on that journey. So there's a sharing and a strong sense of support in the cohort, and they're all holding up their top win. And so look and feel slimmer, back into many of my lovely old clothes, reduced pain, reduced inflammation, happy, lighter, more energized, lighter. Oh, Dee felt 10 years younger. Isn't that lovely? I certainly feel 10 years younger, probably more. Food's no longer in control of me, released 22 pounds. The average weight loss on my 90-day challenge with me as your coach is 20 pounds. That's average. Some people it's less, some people it's more. It does depend on how much weight you've got to release. It tends to, I can usually predict how much weight somebody will release, depending on where they're starting. But the average is 20 pounds. I've seen 28, I've seen 34. And that's just what can be achieved in the 90 days. But it's not just about what can be achieved in 90 days. This is the training program for the rest of your life. Does that make sense, darlings? Yes, it's experiential, but this is like, we are teaching you how to live to feel great, and managing your weight is just a side effect of knowing how to live, how to thrive, okay? How to party, how to eat out, how to eat from a restaurant menu, how to entertain, how to travel. Yeah, this is what we teach. Ollie, healthier relationship with food, more in control, massive increase in energy, and almost complete, if not complete, elimination of her joint pain. And she knows how to get it back as well. Reduce brain fog and all the symptoms of perimenopause. They're very, very common for those to reduce dramatically as well. Lucy was already fairly slender, but she released a stone, but she joined because she needed to get in control over food. She was tired of feeling in control, being controlled by food, comfort eating all the time. Lots and lots of side effect benefits. Wendy, 33 pounds. The seasons, which I haven't mentioned, but the 6 human hungers are now embedded in the way she lives her life. She's free from pain, more energy and sparkle, and even found, this is mental health and well-being, everybody, now even able to manage the stress of work better as well. Donna changed her life completely. She was really unwell. She'd been diagnosed with everything in 2020. Chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, diabetes, COPD. Oh my goodness, she couldn't get out of bed some days. And on the coaching calls in the early days, she was lying down. She was in bed. And now she's bouncing around the world, going to India on retreats, foraging, walking 20 miles, swimming 100 lengths. She is amazing. So I'm going to wrap it up. We've gone over 5 minutes. I wanted to just, for anybody who is interested in exploring how we can do this in 90 days, just book a free call with me. Let's have a chat, right? I'm not a salesperson. It's not going to be pressuring you into anything. It's going to be talking you through what's going on for you. And I will be able to give you a very realistic idea of what's possible for you based on everything I've seen so far. You can ask me any questions about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. Can you fail? You can't fail, but I'll explain to you why you can't fail. I will give you confidence to know that this is, well, you can decide whether it's for you. And I can decide whether it's for you as well, because I am sure that I would take all you lovely ladies in this room, but there have been people who say, I don't think this is for you. Okay, because of their mindset. So just let's have a chat and find out what you think, whether you think you would like to do this, the 90-day program. There's also another option for anybody who's not sure about the 90-day. We can talk about that as well. We can talk about a more introductory option. All right. So have a little chat with me. Let's just see. And I'll be able to give you a very good idea of what could be possible. So we start on a week Monday, the 7th of July. This is my next cohort, my July cohort. And I can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be feeling better before the end of the summer. Okay, so there is a money back guarantee. If that's important to you to feel confident, let's talk about it on your health empowerment call. Ask me about the terms of that money back guarantee, because everybody succeeds on this. Okay, I get everybody through it and everybody gets great results. So I'm very, very confident to offer a money back guarantee. We just need to talk about what the terms of that are. So, because obviously you need to make some effort. That's it. Any questions, my darlings? So how do you book a call? You can either scan that QR code, but actually I've been ignoring the chat, haven't I? I'm going to put the link in the chat. there's a link to book a call with me. I'm available bits this week, but most of next week. What else did I want to say on that? You'll also get a follow-up. You'll get the replay. You should see emails and WhatsApps coming through with that link to book a call with me. So I'm going to stop the slides, hand it over to questions. Any questions on anything I've talked about, or anything about the way the program works? If it's prices and price plans, let's talk about that on your empowerment call, because there's a full range. So, but anything about anything I've covered so far? Okay, well that went down well then. Great. I'm glad. So I'm very, very grateful to you for being here live. I'm going to stop the recording now.